So today, here we are with another Division 2 video, and today we're going to be talking about a build that you guys might have seen in my Fade Loud Manhunt video. A lot of people asked me about the build, and they said, hey, Skills, is this a build that you put out before? And it's actually a little tweaked version of a build that I was running in the past. But I actually made some really cool changes to it to make it more of a hybrid build, and a build that you can run with multiple, either solo or in a group with multiple people. So if you guys are excited for this build, well, you guys know what to do. Make sure you guys leave a thumbs up. We're about to release the build right now. And as you guys are seeing in the gameplay, this build handles really well. And I was actually doing this manhunt solo, so this is solo gameplay, but I've also used this same build in group play, and I always seem to have the most damage. So I tweaked it to be still a skill build, but have a lot of damage and be able to have some survivability. But before we break down the build, I want to take a quick second to say thank you to our sponsor of this video, Advanced GG. If you guys don't know, they have been partnering with me for a while now. And not only do I love the way their product tastes, it actually works. So if you're ever feeling sluggish and you need something to kickstart your day, Advanced GG has the right product for you. So if you guys want to take advantage of 10% off your entire order, make sure you guys use Skills at checkout. But let's get into the build. So our primary weapon we're running is the capacitor. Now this works really good when you run a lot of yellows on your build, and we'll explain that in a second. Now if you notice, I have 92,000 total damage, but this definitely changes with my backpack, and we'll explain in just a second. But yeah, right now 92,000 damage, 700 RPM, and a 40 round mag. This always comes with assault rifle, damage to armor, and health damage. Now the talent right here, if you read it, says shooting enemies build stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage. After 5 seconds, stacks start to decay 1 per second. So as long as you keep those stacks up, you'll be perfectly fine. What really makes this weapon strong is for each skill tier you gain 7.5% weapon damage. For the secondary, you can run whatever weapon you want. I sometimes like having a shotgun, the mop, and that's for the reason that this is the only named shotgun, or the only shotgun period, that comes with 10% armor on kill on it. And then I have close and personal. Killing a target with 7 meters grants 30% weapon damage for 10 seconds. So if I have 2 enemies, that could be a quick 20% armor on kill, and I just like having that. You can run whatever secondary you want. For our specialization, we are running the Technician class. Now this is going to give us skill damage, plus it's going to give us 1 skill tier. So we will have 6 yellows and take full advantage of the max potential of the capacitor. So let's start off with the build, the backpack. The main piece on this build. And the reason I like it is because I still think this is the best hybrid piece you can put on any build. For the fact that it has all 3 core attributes, so that means you get armor, weapon damage, skill tier. Not only that, you also get a mod on there. So as you guys can see, I have critical hit chance, but the talents, right? So when you build a full stack, once you collect 30 trophies, I'll have 30% weapon damage for 300 seconds. I have 30% skill efficiency, which is skill damage, status effects, skill haste, and etc. And I'll have 3% armor regen. Now, remember, this can continue to go as long as you don't die and you keep getting a kill and you pick up a trophy, the stack will stay there. And that's what's really, really impressive about this. Not only that, for 10 seconds, every time I pick up a trophy, I'll get 30% skill efficiency, 20% bonus armor, 10% bonus armor, and 10% weapon damage. So that's why this is really impressive, and it's why I really enjoy it. So if you guys are looking for a backpack to add or backpack to farm, this is the one you guys want to go for, the Memento backpack. Now remember, you guys can get this in the summit. I would recommend putting backpacks as your targeted loot. Not only that, the exotic cache is a great way. Just keep farming for it, and sooner or later it will drop. So good luck on that one. For the mask, we're running the Empress International. Now we do have a 3-piece on here, so we have 10% skill health, 10% skill damage, and then another 10% skill efficiency. So that's why this build hits good with skills and even weapons. So we do have this one set for 1 core attribute, so we have the plus skill tier. We have 12% critical hit damage, we have 10% skill damage, and then 6% critical hit chance mod. Now I do want to stack enough critical hit chance where I'm at least at 50%, and then everything else I would like to have in critical hit damage. And that's going to be the theme throughout this build. So let's continue. Now for the chest piece, instead of going with something like kinetic momentum, which you 100% can, I decided to go with something like Unbreakable. And now this gives me that survivability of gaining back 95% of my 900k armor every 60 seconds if my armor breaks. And I feel like this saved me a ton of times. And this is something that I've started to use when I wanted like a hybrid type build. But remember, if you guys want to push on kinetic momentum, which I have one right here, you guys 100% can run the same thing. You can run skill damage, you can run kinetic momentum, however you want. But I felt like that Unbreakable actually with this build works really good, and that's how I've been running it. But either or, if you want to go a little bit more skill damage and a little bit less survivability, take off Unbreakable and put kinetic momentum. For our second piece of Empress International, this has one skill tier, it's on the holster. We have skill damage, and then we have 6% critical hit chance rolled. For our third piece, we have the knee pads. This has one skill tier, and on this one, I have all reds again. So we have 12% critical hit damage and then 6% critical hit chance. For the gloves, we have the Fenris gloves. Now this gives us 10% assault rifle damage. We have 15% weapon damage. We have 10% skill damage, and then we have 12% critical hit damage. So if you guys see, if I don't put critical hit chance on a roll, I'm gonna have skill damage there. Now, if there's any place that you feel like you wanna drop the critical hit damage down or drop the critical hit chance, you can always do that and have skill damage rolled throughout the build. For the skills, we're running the Assault Turret. If you look here, without the 30% stack skill efficiency bonus from the backpack, we have 106,000 damage, which is actually pretty good. And once we build that stack, it hits even harder. Now we go into the drone, we're running the Striker drone. Now this has 66,000 damage, and I believe with the full stack, we're sitting around 83,000 damage, and that's without the bonus we get from picking up a trophy. So that's why these two skills, along with the damage that I'm doing with my capacitor, is very impressive. So if we head over to the stats, and we look at the stats on this build, you can already see we're sitting at around 50% critical hit chance, 135% critical hit damage, 75% headshot damage, and then 10% armor damage. So a lot of damage coming there. Oh, and also 9% health damage. So this is the reason why we're able to still hit pretty good using our capacitor and still benefiting from the skill damage. And that's one thing I didn't want to lose with this build, was the skill damage I was getting from my skills. So right here in skill slot 1, I still wanted to have some pretty solid damage. And then with the skill 2 slot with the turret, I also wanted some more really good skill damage. And it has that. It has that without the full 30 stack. And once it builds this 30 stack, it hits even harder, along with when I'm shooting my weapon, it's building another stack on top of that. And that's why I think this build right here, it actually performs really well, and I have a lot of fun playing with it. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have any tips, tricks of your own or what you do, remember, I do switch this build up a lot. I do play sometimes with more skill damage rolls on there. Sometimes I run with more crit chance, crit damage rolls. It just really depends. But the great thing about this is you could fully have a really good hybrid build that performs really good and competes. Say if you're in a 4-man group, it will still perform really good. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about this build, let me know in the comments. I appreciate all the support, guys. But I will see you guys in the next Division 2 video. But until then, nothing but skills out.